Hi everybody, I'm Sandy and I have a blog called Simply Happy Foodie. If you don't know what a blog is, it's just a website, and I have recipes and information on that blog about the Instant Pot. I also do crock pot and oven and stovetop types of recipes. And right now we just got done with Thanksgiving and Black Friday, and the Instant Pot was on sale, probably one of the biggest selling items that there was. The first thing you're going to find when you unpack is, of course, the pot. It comes with the lid, okay? And the lid has this wobbly little knob, and it's supposed to be loose. And this is the steam release knob, and it comes off. It has a little bit of a silicone bit in there, and it helps it sit on there. So it goes on and it stays wobbly, and it shouldn't just come off if you turn it upside down. If you turn it over, now I happen to have grabbed one of my older lids. I think I have a newer one here, just a second. So it used to look like this with the big, this is called an anti-block shield. And what that does is it keeps food particles from clogging up your vent. And this is what they look like now. And this bit is removable. It comes off so you can clean it, and then it just snaps right back on. And then also you're going to find on the other side is this little, I call it the pin, okay? And I think others call it a pressure valve. You'll just know it is when the pin drops, and that just means that when the pot comes to pressure, okay, the pin pops up, okay? And it becomes, on this model, this is the Duo 6-quart, and it'll be flush with the plastic on top of the lid. Some of the other models, like the 8-quart and the Ultra, I believe, they pop up a little bit above. But you'll notice on the underside of it, there's a little silicone piece right there. And that is removable too, but it comes with it on, so just leave it on there. So what I'm doing right now is I'm pulling out the silicone gasket, or we call it the sealing ring, silicone ring. You'll hear different words for it. And when it comes out, okay, mine's kind of old in this lid. You see, they kind of get yellowed, but the good thing is they do last a long time. And what you'll do is, it should come installed, but you're gonna wanna check. There's this metal, like a little track, okay? It's just a little bar that has little welded bits to keep it in place. You're gonna just tuck the ring in there, and then I just push it going around, and it fits all the way in there. And you can tell if it's set in there or not, okay? So anyway, I'm gonna go back to this one, just because that's the one I had out. Okay, you might notice that this one is red, and I'll talk more about that in my accessories video, so stay tuned. But just know that they can come in other colors, and that will have some significance, but all the colors, they do the exact same thing. They're not different, they just look different, okay? Same functionality. Okay. So that's your lid. Another thing to know on your Instant Pot base is that on the Duo, the Luxe model does not have this feature, but your handles, you'll notice have holes in them, little slots. And what's great about that is, you take your lid off after your food's done and it's hot and it's dripping water and stuff. You can just set it. You can also flip it over and set it on the other side, depending on what your circumstances are. Okay, but I'm just gonna set it down here for now so I don't risk knocking it over. Okay, so every Instant Pot comes with a pot, and this is referred to as the inner liner. And the reason why it's called the inner liner is because it sits in the base. So the base here, let's take this, okay? This is where the heating element is, and this is what gets really hot and heats up what is inside the pot, to bring it to pressure. So you want to be really careful. I see a lot of people who pour water in, like, oh, I'm going to go ahead and start my cooking, and they pour water in, and then this wasn't in there. And the water will come out the bottom and it'll flood, and then you're going to be freaking out because you think you just ruined your Instant Pot. I've seen a lot of people save their Instant Pots. Don't try to turn it on or anything, but there's a another video online, and not by me. I can't remember who it's by though, but just search pouring water into the Instant Pot base or something like that. And you can find it. Anyway, what they do is they tell you how to take it apart and then how to just let it sit for like a few days until it dries all the way out, and then how to put it back together. It's really not that hard, from what I understand. I haven't done it yet, luckily. The other thing when you get your pot is you're going to want to register it. Okay, so on the very bottom, see, it's upside down, is this label. And this label has a number on it, your serial number. And so what you're going to want to do, let me just see real quick. So it's a round sticker, and then there's another sticker on top of it that has the actual serial number of the pot. And then you go to instantpot.com website, and there's a place there to register your Instant Pot. So make sure you do that. Okay, so back to the inner liner. This is really good quality stainless steel. The bottom is a little bit heavier, kind of like on a frying pan. The other thing you'll notice is it's not straight. It has a little bit of a concave thing going on here. And so when you pour stuff into this, like for instance, if you're going to end up sauteing something and you pour oil in, it's going to kind of gravitate and migrate to the sides here. And that's not really that big of a deal. What I usually do, you know, is I just kind of go like this and move it around a little bit, and then get my onions or whatever in there. Okay, so let's look at some stuff that comes with it accessory wise, and then we'll get back to that. So there is nothing that you have to assemble except for if you get a model that comes with this. I don't think the Ultra has this. I think just the Duo does. And this is called a condensation collector. You might also hear it referred to as condensation cup. And what this is for is because the pot has a channel, okay, going around. And this is where the lid locks in, but also moisture can collect here, especially when you take the lid off and take advantage of the lid holder. Water drips in there. Some people say they've never had anything in their condensation cup. Some people say that thing fills up all the time. And I'm kind of half and half. Sometimes it just depends on what I'm cooking. There's 2 tabs. So when you go to put it on, never shove it straight up. And if you ever have to take it off, don't ever shove it straight down because you're going to rip off those tabs. Then you're not going to have anything to hold it on, and you may have to resort to duct tape. So the 2 tabs, and then there's 2 channels on here. So they just go on, and you just press it in place. And there you go, that's it. And there's a little hole right here. And this is part of that channel. So that little hole is where the liquid drips into. That's all the assembly you have to do other than putting in the power cord. So if you have the Duo 8 quart, the power cord is already attached to the back of the unit. If you have this 6 quart Duo, you have to just plug it in. So just plug it in, there we go. And beep to let you know that it has power. Okay, and then because they don't have really long cords. I think it's a safety thing. I'm not really knowledgeable about electronics, but anyway, if you can see, it says off. Okay, and so it's really great. It's like, okay, now we have power. All right. You can also, just FYI, when you're storing your Instant Pot, this is something that is really good to know. The silicone rings, they absorb odors, and I'm sorry to say. It's probably good to have a spare ring, and when you do buy a silicone ring for your Instant Pot, I highly recommend that you get the Instant Pot brand. You don't want to void your warranty by using a non-Instant Pot brand, and also I think they're made better. I think they're thicker, and I really like them. This one I've had for about a year now, and it's been really good. But you can wash your lid. This whole thing can go in the dishwasher, which is wonderful. I've never put mine in the dishwasher. I just scrub it up and rinse it really well. And then I kind of shake out the extra moisture because it kind of drips out a lot here. And then I store it upside down. And what that does, it makes it a little bit more compact, but it keeps the silicone ring exposed to air. And then that way it won't trap the odor in there. And people talk about how stinky their silicone ring is. And there's really not much you can do about it except wash it and leave it exposed to air. Mine doesn't even smell. So And all I use is like Dawn dishwashing. I don't do anything fancy to it. No vinegar, you know, nothing like that. But if you're cooking maybe curries and really strong, spicy foods a lot, you know, that could be a different story. But I do recommend 2 rings. Okay, so the other thing that's going to come in your Instant Pot is you're going to hear this referred to as the trivet, or maybe the rack or the steamer rack. It's stainless and it has little feet on it. You can see those little feet because it sits down in the pot. Okay, and it sits up off of the bottom of the pot because the bottom of the pot gets hot just like a frying pan does. And so there's times where you don't want something to touch the bottom. Like maybe there's times where you want to cook a chicken breast and you want it up off the bottom of the pot. Or gosh, I've cooked whole like little pie pumpkins and I like them up off of the bottom of the pot. There's all kinds of things. There's another thing where you can cook another pot inside and you don't ever want to have that pot touching the bottom. The other thing is it has these nice long handles. And so when you've got something going on in there with the appropriate hot pads, you know, you can lift it out. Okay. I think this one came out of my 3-quart. I couldn't find the 6-quart one, but there are some models that come with a different trivet. For whatever reason, it doesn't have the handles. So if you happen to have one without the handles, these are sold separately. And these, it's okay if you don't get an Instant Pot brand. And I've seen them on Amazon and so forth. So I really, really recommend if you get one with the handles. Use it a lot. Okay. These always come with the Instant Pot too. And these are plastic. And this is a rice paddle. If you've ever had a rice cooker, this may look familiar. And I've used it, but because my favorite tool in the Instant Pot is the wooden spoon. I have so many. Every Christmas I ask for wooden spoons because I need tons of them. I use them all the time. But you might like this, you might find it comfortable. And you can get in there after you cook your rice and, you know, really scoop it out. And then this is a ladle. And this is great for, you know, soups and things like that. Okay, so then you're going to get the user manual. And if by any chance you lost your user manual or, you know, you're somewhere where you don't have it, Instant Pot was awesome and put the whole thing online at their website. So if you ever lose it, go online to instantpot.com and get your user manual. Okay. The other thing is you're going to get a recipe book. And what's really great about this is if you don't know what kind of cookbook you want to buy, maybe try a couple of the recipes in here. And there's, you know, some things about cooking like basics, rice and all that kind of stuff. Okay, and then this one is kind of like a quick reference guide. Okay, the other thing that's going to come with it is, if you've had a rice cooker, you know what this is. This is a rice cup. This is 6 ounces or 3/4 of a cup. I have never used it, but you may want to. Okay, so I'll go ahead and get this kind of cleared out and then we will start the water test.